Sorry.
Jesus, woke me up.
What's up, Internet Land? I'm Vinny,
I'm Joe.
and welcome back to the Retro Grab Bag Show. Today, we are going to talk about Atari 2600 memories, and then we're going to talk about some of our favorite games for the system. Yeah, Joe, do you have any particular 2600 memory?
The big thing with that is I think we got that, we got that as a family when I was pretty young. I remember our dad was, I remember he worked at a store, and his friends, I think, at the place had it. And I remember him bringing stuff home from work and getting excited about it. But honestly, I don't think that was like a Christmas thing. I don't remember like ripping that open on Christmas. So I think that may have been Dad thought it was cool and brought it home, which is pretty epic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For that to happen. But obviously the first I remember of that is, us getting together, and you were probably way too young.
Yeah.
If not, I don't even know when this was. It might have even been 82, 83, which
Yeah.
you're not even born then. But I just remember huddling around and we all played the bowling game.
Yes.
Which to this day,
That's correct.
we actually still play that as a family, sometimes on like holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the big game as a family that broke everything out, and we love playing that. But breaking it out for me on my own, my couple big ones would be like Haunted House. Everyone loves that game.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna think of another one, Mega Mania. That would probably be my favorite.
Now, you have a Mega Mania sealed-in box.
Yes.
How did you get that?
eBay. I used to go on eBay pretty heavily, and at one point, I'm going to say maybe 10 years ago, I just see all of these Mega Mania sealed games, and I'm like, this can't be real. You know what I mean? So I Google it, and sure enough, some warehouse I think out in Arizona was found that they had pallets of old Atari games, and Mega Mania was one of them.
What?
I don't know. It was some kind of like Toys R Us type of store. It wasn't Toys R Us, but you know what I mean?
This happens.
And sure enough, there's a pallet of Mega Mania. So I'm like, okay. And it was still a little pricey. I think
It's
I paid
sealed.
$25. I think I paid at that time.
That's free.
Which, turning around now, I'm sure that devalued it, but I'm sure it's worth a little more than that. But
I would assume, yeah.
But
I would assume.
But actually playing that game as a kid, I probably had an issue because every minute that I could, I played it. So much that I remember being proud of getting the patch. That was back in the days before the internet, where you actually had to take the picture of the screen, send it in, and on the back of the manual it said, "Send us your scores." And I was so proud that I got the patch. Total nerd moment.
Fantastic.
Probably nothing compared to what people can do now or then, but that was my favorite game. And
now everything's on the network anyway, so your high score is posted immediately. Where you're waiting for film to get developed, and hoping the person reads it. Oh my God, that's unbelievable.
Yep, yeah,
that's awesome.
How about you?
For me, like you said, I was a bit young, but that is the first video game system I remember. We were still playing, like you said, we still played bowling today as we did then. I remember being excited getting my own room, and we had an extra tube TV. I don't remember, it was a black and white, and I hooked that sucker up, and no one was at that point playing the Atari. You might have been playing Nintendo. So I had gotten in my room the Atari with all the games, even though it was black and white. It was amazing. I was playing our whole, one of my favorite games was Jungle Hunt. I played all this a lot as a kid. Just a really quality game. You can beat it. You can try to get the high score kind of thing. We had Tunnel Runner.
Nope.
Which we were talking about this a little bit, was maybe ahead of its time in that it was first person, kind of running through tunnels like what'd you say? Doom, yeah. Like Doom, and it had creepy music when the monster was coming because you were being chased at a maze. It also had a map. Yeah. Like it was really fantastic. But really what sticks out to me as a favorite, which is probably tied with those, would be Frankenstein, which I don't think you played a whole lot of, but that's just a quality game. Played the piss out of that.
I don't know if that was a popular game, but I know that
I know it's not cheap right now.
Looking at vintage Atari games, that is one of them that, you know, if you had the manual or the box or anything like that, you're looking at a few $100s, but. You know,
I would say sealed or complete in a box. It has to be up there. Yeah, no doubt.
Must have been a limited edition type of game. So
yeah,
but yeah. I mean, there's so many Atari games that were great. But that, like you said, that was. I mean, I was probably 7 years old playing it. You know, so it's not like you know, you're hard. I mean, nowadays 7-year-olds, you know, it's nothing for them to hop on Fortnite or whatever and destroy everyone. But you know, 7-year-olds back then.
They're watching a like one little thing go back and forth.
Right. You know, Pong was amazing.
And it was amazing.
You know what I mean? So that's where I come from. So you came into it where it was pretty good when you got to that age. And
loved it.
You had some options. But yeah, I mean, these games are great.
I would still go back to it. Like you said, we still do the bowling thing every now and then, and there's just a lot of fun stuff on there. And it's fun to hunt the games too. It's a great system.
Yeah. And it's not too crazy. I mean, when you look in terms of value, I mean, you could still hop in most places and get carts pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been a huge explosion like there is with Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega. You know, anything decent is going to be pretty expensive. But I mean, $20 will probably get you mostly any of the just 75% of the games.
Sure, or less. Now that you mentioned that, real quick, I got both of these complete in box. So that's the box, the game, and the manual at the store, complete in box in Reading, a month or so ago. So if you're in that area, check them out. They rock as well. Very good store. They sell everything. And this is extremely affordable for a complete in box. So yeah, if you're doing an Atari collection, you're probably not gonna break the bank so hard as you would some other freaking retro systems.
Yeah.
All right, that ought to do it for the 2600 episode. I got nothing else to say about it.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, treat each other well, and we will see you next week.
See ya.